So, I'd like to call to order the Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for 11/12/13. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Calling the roll, Mr. Greenspan. Here. Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Brady. Here. Mr. Germana. Here. Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Rogers. Here. Ms. Simon. And Ms. Conley.
Here.
There is a quorum.
We have a number of visitors here tonight. Well, Mr. Lancy, thank you for joining us. And we have a student from Cleveland State, Frank Hudson, who is here on a class assignment. So we want to put your name on the record to make sure your teacher knows that you're here. And we will watch you to make sure that you stay for the whole meeting. Okay, and...
That's crime and punishment.
Okay, if you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. For our moment of silence, we'd like to recognize our veterans. Let us honor all our military, the men and women who served, whose dedication to our country does not falter, halt, or swerve. Moving on to item 5, is there any public comment related to the agenda? Is anyone signed in?
Yes, Madam Chair, several people have signed in to speak. Once I call your name, if you'd please come up to the podium, state your name for the record, and you will have 3 minutes in order to address council. The first person is Al Porter, Jr.
And please speak into the microphone. Mr. Porter?
I will have to take a pass. I'm waiting for our secretary to bring back the resolution that I need to present to you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll put you at the end. If you're not ready at the end, then we'll put you at the end of the meeting, okay? All right, go ahead.
The next person is Calvin Brooks.
Mr. Brooks?
Yes, my name is Calvin Brooks. I'm a associate with Black on Black Crime.
Could you speak up? Into the microphone. Thank you.
Yes, I'm an associate with Black on Black Crime, and what we like to know is that regarding the labor that is going to take place on the hotel, how and what is the percentage of the blacks will be able to do the contracting on this job? I mean, does anyone know at this point?
Okay, this is a point in the program where, you know, if you'd like to make a presentation, however, we can make that information available to you. At our last meeting, there was a fairly extensive discussion about that, so I can have one of our staff people direct you to watch the, you know, how you can watch the tape,
Yes.
and we can also get you some additional information.
Okay.
Okay.
Be fine. Sure. Thank you.
The next persons, Gwendolyn Pitts and Deacon Lee Adams.
Welcome back, Ms. Pitts.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Deacon Lee Adams and members of Cuyahoga County Council and Cuyahoga County executives. I would like to tell you about the Lee Adams East Cleveland Concerned Citizen. It was formed to make a difference in the East Cleveland community and Cuyahoga County. We are a catalyst for change. We are concerned about people having jobs in East Cleveland, so revenue can go back to rebuild East Cleveland. We want our African American community to be hired as workers on the Cuyahoga County Convention Center Hotel project. We encourage full participation of the African American community in the Cuyahoga County development of the new Convention Center Hotel project. We joined the 8th House District Black Caucus in the Business and Jobs Opportunity Coalition to hire our participation in the demolition of the building currently on the site, the construction of the new building, and the operation of the hotel, whether it be in management, administration, food service, maintenance, contractors, or suppliers. Working together is all about community and Christian fellowship. And we have the opportunity now to make changes that would make things better to live and work. People need to provide for their families. And we believe our skilled workers in the African American community in East Cleveland and Cuyahoga County deserves that opportunity. We want jobs for our community, which is a big part of our mission. We invite Cuyahoga County businesses, executives, and services to join Deacon Lee Adams, concerned citizens of East Cleveland, to give us hope for tomorrow. Only together we can have more successful businesses and growth in East Cleveland and put money back in African American community. We want to build and bring our skilled labor to the Cuyahoga County Convention Center Hotel project and demand equal pay for equal work efforts. We invite all businesses to create jobs and opportunities for African Americans in East Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. Let us, as leaders, serve the community to the best of our ability. Join concerned citizens of East Cleveland for more information. Call Deacon Lee Adams at 216-451-1680 in the mornings to express your concerns. Now I have the honor to introduce the founder and CEO of Deacon Lee Adams, East Cleveland Concerned Citizens. Deacon Lee Adams, everybody.
We have a rule about clapping, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Good evening, council members, and to each and every one. I am concerned about people, regardless race, creed, or color. We, as nationality of the human race, we need to come together and work together. If we can inform ourselves to come together and stop trying to criticize each other and trying to put each other down, I think it'd be a better city to live in. We are too busy sitting back and trying to find fault in each other. And I find the ones that sit back and conduct themselves in a non-professional manner, we find those people the ones that need to be chastised. We need to do something for violence. There's too much violence going on in the city. I've helped many people in the city of East Cleveland. I lived in East Cleveland, the same location, for 47 years. I've taken people in my home, fed them, and gave them a job to try to help them. If we can come together in unity, I think it'll be a better world to live in. And I want to thank you all for listening to my message. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deacon. Is anyone else signed in?
Kevin Hudson.
Mr. Hudson? While he's coming, I would like to recognize Mr. Bob Ivory, who has come back. He should have never left, where he used to work here and went to California and is back. You brought the snow back with you. Proceed. Give us your name again, please.
Kevin Hudson. Good evening, Council. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I'm up here to represent Staples. We've had the pleasure to be the office supply vendor for Cuyahoga County for many years. And saw on the agenda there was a recommendation to move to another supplier, Office Max. As part of this evaluation, I brought with me evidence and proof that we have been the lowest provider as part of the bid process. So I'm just here to see what's the process for me to have evidence to show that the recommendation to move to Office Max, currently the county is still with Staples for office supplies, and we've been a very satisfied vendor by the county. So just wanted to see what's the process to go about to state our case, and there's proof and evidence here that we have that we're the lowest cost provider and for the office supply contract. I've met with the Assistant Attorney General, Inspector General Joseph Amslinger, who have reviewed all the documents as well, and we just request a rebid of the office supply contract because there has been a lot of areas within the bid process that has been very gray, and it's part of our recommendation because as part of the bid, Office Max did not quote apples to apples comparison. That was proven throughout the process, have everything documented. Again, this has all been also reviewed by the Inspector General of the county and the Assistant General. So we just want to know what's the process for
Okay,
it.
I'm going to refer you to Mr. McCloof, the law director, and we can't give you any legal advice, but we can tell you about the procedures. Okay, between him and Mr. McAleer, they
So
can
is this where
explain.
you present, is this the form? where
This
you
really
present?
isn't the forum that we're happy to hear from any citizens who'd like to come in and talk about anything on the agenda, but there is a procedure to.
I followed that procedure.
Okay.
I submitted a FOIA request, was the Freedom of Information Act request.
Yeah,
And that
yeah, it's
information-
going to committee anyway, so.
Yeah, it's
so-
point number K.
Madam
Is that
President,
when
if
I
I
come
may,
up?
how about this? Just submit a detailed letter with all your issues before the committee meeting. We'll look at it at the law department, and the council will be privy to that information when it goes into committee.
Well, I did
Okay.
follow the
Yeah,
request.
okay,
the
that's
FOIA
fine. Yeah,
request.
submit the detailed letter like Mr. McCoof is telling you, and then we'll consider it at the committee.
So even on the
And you're
motion-
welcome to come back to the committee. That may be the best thing for you to do, is come back to the committee.
But the
Right. Why don't we have you talk to Mr. McAleer over here, and he can, or Mr. Nani, and they will explain the process to you, okay? All right, is anyone else signed in?
Yes, Madam Chair. Mike Askren.
Hello, good evening. My name is Mike Askren, and I as well am here on behalf of Kone Incorporated Elevators and Escalators for the purpose of a bid protest. Aside from the formal letter we previously submitted, I don't have any additional comments, and if you suggest that I refrain from reading that letter here tonight and am directed to Mr. McCloof, that would be just fine with me.
Okay, and then we'll make sure that Mr. Nani gets a copy of that, and the letter will be forwarded to
Yes.
everyone, and then we'll take it up at the committee meeting.
Yes, ma'am, that was time-stamped earlier today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
George Edwards.
Mr. Edwards?
Good evening. Oops, excuse me. Good evening. My name is George Edwards, and I'm the founder and president of the Black Trades Council. I'm here this afternoon to talk about two things. One is to commend Parnell Jones and his Public Works Committee on the work that he's done on the hotel project and whatnot. And two, to also to allow you guys to understand the complex issues about the community benefit package that you got included in your project. Whereas, in fact, if you're not a part of a union body, you will not be able to work on your project. I understand at the bottom of the list that I received, it's supposed to be 4% low-income people. So my question that I'd like to ask and leave with you, do they also have to be a part of a union? Thank you.
All right, we'll get someone to answer that question for you. Anyone else?
Well, we're just back to Mr. Porter, but
Mr. Porter, are you
You're
ready,
not-
or do you want to do it at the end of the meeting?
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, going on to item 6, we have a number of minutes from October 21st and 22nd, the Committee of the Whole, 22nd, the regular meeting, the minutes from the October 24th Committee of the Whole, 28th Committee of the Whole, and the 29th Committee of the Whole. If everyone has had an opportunity to review those minutes, I'll entertain a motion to adopt them as circulated. Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Miller. Any discussion on those items? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Most of these are so adopted. I usually don't have any announcements, and tonight I have a lot, so. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Brady, Miller, Jones, and Ms. Conwell for their diligent work on the Health and Human Service levy. They should all be congratulated. The levy passed, and on behalf of all the citizens who will benefit from that levy, I want to extend our thank you and just thank you for your really dedication and hard work. We have been collecting the delinquent court cost, and I have a review of that. We've collected to date an average of, a total of $807,000. It's about average of $33,000 a month. A big chunk of that came from the Attorney General's office, who've been collecting money from back income tax and lottery things and other money that comes in through the state. But we've done really quite well, and that's $807,000 into the coffers of Cuyahoga County from back court costs. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to go to the graduation of the Veterans Court. It started at the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, where there was a very moving ceremony, a laying of a wreath at the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, and then we went over to the graduation. And I mention this because some of the funds from that were unused funds from the Veterans Service Commission were transferred to the Veterans Court. And it was really impressive, the veterans who had come to the graduation and spoke about their experience with the Veterans Court and how well they were doing, and they really were back on the right track again. So I thought that was a really very, very meaningful experience, and I'm very glad that we have this Veterans Courts. We're one of the first ones in the nation, and I talked to Judge Michael Jackson, who on Common Pleas Court, who is a veteran and who is interested in having a Veterans Court in Common Pleas Court also. So Cuyahoga County has been really a mover and shaker in that area. Several months ago, Councilman Brady and I approached Bishop Richard Lennon to suggest hosting a public memorial for the 50th anniversary of the death of President John F. Kennedy. In 1988, the Diocese of Cleveland hosted a 25th anniversary memorial that was well attended by the public and public officials. So on Friday, November 22nd at noon at St. John's Cathedral at the corner of East 9th and Superior, the diocese will celebrate a memorial mass in honor of President Kennedy. This year's 50th anniversary will fall on Friday, the same day of the week as it was in 1963. Those of us who are old enough to remember November 22nd, 1963, know exactly where we were and what we were doing when we heard the news that the president had been shot. We encourage all to attend this celebration in honor of the memory of our 35th president. In addition to which, I'll be teaching at a seminar at Cleveland State University marking the Warren Commission report, and the theme of the seminar is what would have happened if Oswald had gone to trial. You get 6 hours of continuing legal education for the benefit of the Cleveland State Marshall Alumni Association, and it's available on the website. So I encourage anyone to come. If you're not looking for continuing legal education credits, it's $20, and it's an all-day seminar. And we will have 2 members of the Warren Commission staff, Judge Burt Griffin and Mr. Howard Willens, who I had an opportunity to hear last week in Washington. It's a fascinating subject, and we hope that we get some folks to attend. We have 2 charitable items. We have the Giving Tree for the first time. Council member and staff are participating in the Giving Tree this year. The tree provides holiday gifts for about 1,600 children in the custody of Cuyahoga County. The Division of Children's Services provides holiday wish cards for the child's name, gender, and the type of gift that they receive, valued at about $30. The wish cards are displayed on the tree here in the chambers. Anyone is invited to participate in this program. There is a sign-in sheet next to the tree. It's actually a Hanukkah bush. All gifts are included. Our gift card should be wrapped and should be returned to us by the meeting of December 10th, which is our last meeting of the year. And finally, we're asking all of you, you probably got an email on this, on the 2014 Charity Choice campaign, which will begin on November 30th. This year's Charity Choice consists of 5 federations representing 318 charities. I ask that you please consider a donation to to an organization whose mission you believe is in something that will benefit the community. I hope that we have everyone's participation in this campaign this year, and we are grateful for your continued support. And I think that's all of my announcements. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be quite brief. First of all, I want to associate myself with all the comments you made about Veterans Day. Very appropriate. Yesterday, as most of council is probably aware, we had an event at United Way where we talked about the assistance that the county is providing to their 211 service of help to veterans. Councilman Greenspan and myself were there. We go everywhere together. But I just want to praise council for their decision in terms of taking that excess money that was returned and dedicating it to services for veterans. Then today we were out on in University Heights with representatives from the land bank. And Councilman Greenspan and I, of course, and also Councilwoman Simon. I'm talking about the Homefront program, which has been designed, again, with support of $100,000 from the county and $100,000 from the land bank and the staff and support of the folks at the land bank, which is going to help place, first of all, rehab homes and improve our housing stock, but also place veterans, returning veterans, into those structures. We met this great couple that was out there, Michael and Elizabeth, and he volunteered for the Air Force, volunteered for 3 tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was such a perfect moment. I've been to a lot of Veterans Day ceremonies. I'm sure many of you have too, and they're always great and they're always moving. But the fact that we were doing something substantive and real, and and it wasn't just words, but it was fulfilling the obligation that we have to our veterans. The over 90,000 veterans that we have in this county, I thought was just wonderful, and so I salute the council for your actions and happy to be a part of it. Last thing I wanted to mention, we had a discussion earlier, and I know there's going to be more discussions in Councilman Brady's committee about the food stamp issue. And the fact that in addition to the federal cuts that are coming down on food stamps, there's been changes at the state level where there's going to be approximately 29,000 individuals because of a change in state policy that may throw them off of food stamp assistance as well. We've been talking about this on my staff, and I don't know what the timeline of it is going to be, but I'll communicate it to council as soon as we set it. But I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what it's like for somebody to be on food stamps, and exactly how much does somebody that's on food stamps really have available to them through food stamps to support themselves and their family. And we're talking about doing a food stamp challenge where for a week we're going to challenge staff here to basically live on a food stamp budget for a week. And we'll let you know the exact parameters of when I'm going to do it and the rest of my staff is going to be doing it. But I just think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. There is this idea that people that are having to subsist on food stamps are living it up or something, and that's far from the case. But I think it's important for people, even in a somewhat symbolic and temporary way, to experience that reality for a week. I think can make for better for more informed decision making. So we're looking tentatively at starting next week, but we would invite the council to join and the community at large to join with us in doing that. So I'll provide more specifics as we nail them down in the next day or two. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Make sure we covered everything here. Okay, moving on to item 9. Committee reports and considerations of a motion for council second reading under suspension of the rule. This matter has been to committee, and they voted out that we passed under suspension of the rule. So I entertain a motion to suspend Rule 9D.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rule.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germain that we waive the reading of the third reading. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The rule is suspended. We can proceed to 2013-0030.
For 2013-0030, a motion reappointing Richard T. Prosy to serve on the Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument Board of Trustees for the term November 16, 2013 through November 15, 2018, and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Germana. Did you want to be heard, Ms. Conwell?
Madam Chair, I'd like to just thank Mr. Prosy for his time served. I believe he's been on this committee since 2006, and so this committee would like to ask that his name be moved forward to continue serving. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or discussions? I believe, I spoke to Mr. Prosy yesterday. I think there are at least a couple of seats coming up in the spring, so we'd like to get that information out, so if people want to apply for the seats that's becoming available, make sure that we get lots of, the preference is to veterans, I believe. Okay. All right. Any other questions, discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. We congratulate Mr. Prosy for his service. Item 10, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2013-0241, a resolution approving the Metro Health Systems policies and procedures to participate in one or more joint purchasing associations for the purpose of acquiring supplies, equipment, and services provided through joint purchasing arrangements in order to achieve beneficial purchasing arrangements for the year 2014 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 339.05 and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter is going to the soon-to-be overworked Public Works Committee. Item 11, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption or suspension of the rule. This is our bi-monthly operating adjustments for the budget. We need a motion to suspend 9D and 12A.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germana. Any discussions? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2013-0242, a resolution amending the 2012-2013 biennial operating budget for 2013 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources, for appropriation transfers between budget accounts and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Miller, seconded by Mr. Schron. Mr. Miller.
Madam President and my colleagues, this is a significant bi-monthly fiscal resolution. It contains appropriations for major capital projects. First of all, the move of the data center from the Sterling Building for $14.56 million, and then we have the professional services for the hotel project for $5,030,000, and then we have the architect and engineering services for the hotel project for $16,550,000. And in each of these cases, the projects are going to be funded out of the proceeds from future bond issues. I recommend support to move these projects forward.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Any other questions?
Madam President,
Yes.
just to no surprise, there's an item on here relating to the hotel. I'm not going to be supporting this resolution.
I'm sorry, would you say that again? I didn't.
There's an item on here relating to the hotel. My position on the hotel has been widely known, so I will not be supporting this resolution.
Okay, and you want to point that item out? It starts on page
Or
55.
it's the $21,580,000 on page 62. Those are the items Mr. Miller discussed. The architectural and engineering and professional services.
I'm not sure how, you would just vote against the whole?
Against the whole thing.
Okay, all right, all right. I was interested in segregating these funds out for the hotels so that we could have sort of a running total on them, even when they come up on these adjustment docket, but we can talk about that later. Okay. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 12, consideration of resolutions for first, no, I'm sorry.
I sit next to the clerk.
That's, okay. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2013-0243, a resolution amending resolution number 2013-0200, dated September 24th, 2013, which accepted the rates as determined by the Budget Commission and which authorized the necessary tax levies and certified them to the county fiscal officer to change the Health and Human Services outside millage from 2.90 to 3.90 and to change the total outside millage from 14.10 to 15.10, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
All right, this matter will go to Finance and Budget.
Resolution number 2013-0244, a resolution authorizing a termination and transfer agreement with Merchandise Mart Properties Incorporated, MMPI Cleveland Development, and Cleveland MMCC, authorizing other actions related to the agreement, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
All right, this matter will go to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution number 2013-0245, a resolution authorizing a cooperative agreement among the county, city of Cleveland, and Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Port Authority relating to certain cooperative arrangements in connection with development of the county's convention center, hotel, and other cooperative activities, authorizing the conveyance of real property, authorizing and approving related matters, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter will go to the Committee of the Whole, and you'll be getting emails as to the times of when these are set up, because these are time sensitive.
Resolution number 2013-0246, a resolution making an award on requisition number 23733 to Michael Baker Jr. Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $685,895 for design engineering services for the Towpath Trail Stage 4 from Tremont Literary Trailhead to Canal Basin Park in Cuyahoga County for the period December 2nd, 2013 through December 31st, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0247, a resolution making an award and requisition number 28696 to The Safety Company, doing business as M-Tech Company, in the amount not to exceed $1,650,000 for sewer inspection equipment, parts, supplies, and services for the period October 1, 2013 through September 30, 2018, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0248, a resolution making an award and requisition number 26522 to Schindler Elevator Corporation in the amount not to exceed $1,900,000 for elevator maintenance and repair services for various county facilities for the period December 1, 2013 through November 30, 2016, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
And this goes to Public Works, and this is the one the gentleman spoke about earlier in the public announcements.
Resolution number 2013-0249, a resolution authorizing an amendment to a revenue-generating memorandum of agreement with City of Mayfield Heights for maintenance and repair of sewerage systems located in County Sewer District Number 3 to change the scope of services effective November 12, 2013, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0250, a resolution authorizing a revenue-generating utility agreement with City of Beechwood for maintenance and repair of storm sewers, sanitary sewers, and water lines located in County Sewer District Numbers 3 and 5, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0251, a resolution authorizing a cooperative agreement with Olmsted Township in the amount of $5 million for preventative and routine maintenance of 22 miles of county roads and various structures for the period October 22nd, 2013 through December 31st, 2023, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0252, a resolution making a revenue-generating award on requisition number 24534 to Olmsted Township Board of Trustees in the amount of $210,000 for the lease with option to purchase Fitch Road Yard located at 7924 Fitch Road, Olmsted Township, authorizing the county executive to take all necessary actions and to execute all documents necessary to consummate the contemplated transaction, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0253, a resolution making an award on requisition number 27498 to Office Max Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $2,300,000 for furnishing and delivering office supplies to various county departments for the period December 1, 2013 through November 30, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0254, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1200-211 with United Way of Greater Cleveland for emergency food purchase and distribution to Cuyahoga County hunger centers and food pantries serving residents in need for the period April 1, 2012 through December 31, 2013, to extend the time period to December 31, 2014, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,095,450, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2013-0255, a resolution authorizing amendments to an agreement and contracts with various providers for universal pre-kindergarten services to extend the time period to July 31, 2014, and for additional funds, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendments and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the time periods, the contract numbers, agreement number, vendors, and amounts as printed on the agenda.
This goes to Environment, Education, and Sustainability.
Resolution number 2013-0256, a resolution making a Cuyahoga County 911 Consolidation Shared Services Fund Award to City of Bedford Heights on behalf of Southeast Council of Governments in the amount not to exceed $1,160,000 for public safety answering point consolidation support for the period November 1, 2013 through December 31, 2014, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Public Safety and Justice Affairs.
Resolution number 2013-0257, a resolution authorizing an agreement with City of Brecksville in the amount of $10 for lease of radio tower space located at 4450 Oaks Road, Brecksville, for the period July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2023, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Goes to Public Safety and Justice Affairs.
Resolution number 2013-0258, a resolution making awards on requisition number 27261 to various providers for diagnostic clinic, psychologist, and psychometrist services for the period January 1, 2014 through December 31, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the master contract and all other documents consistent with said awards and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the providers and in the amounts not to exceed as printed on the agenda items P1 through 14.
It goes to Public Safety, Justice Affairs.
And resolution number 2013-0259, a resolution authorizing a contract with Oriana House Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,199,200 for day programming services in connection with the fiscal year 2014 Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction Community Corrections Act Probation Improvement and Incentive Grant Program for the period October 1, 2013 through June 30, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Goes to Public Safety and Justice Affairs. Item 13, committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. These matters have all gone to committee, and we need a motion to suspend Rule 90 to waive the third reading before council.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rule.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jimana. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2013-0228, a resolution approving the Metro Health System year 2014 budget in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 339.06D, with the understanding that the allocation of county funds to the system will be made through adoption of the 2014-2015 biennial operating budget and capital improvements program for 2014, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Mr. Gallagher. Any discussion on this item?
Madam President.
Mr. Miller.
My colleagues, this item was heard in the Committee of the Whole alongside of the hearing of the Metro Health System's subsidy for the biennial budget. This is an annual requirement that we have to separately approve the Metro Health System's own budget, which is just a one-year budget, not a two-year budget. The Metro Health System reported a projection to achieve an excess of receipts over expenditures of $18 million for 2014, which, if achieved, would be the best operating result that they've achieved in many years. However, they do face various threats from health system and regulatory changes at the state and federal level. Note that the question of the county's subsidy to the Metro Health System is not considered as part of this resolution, but is considered as part of the biennial budget. I recommend approval.
Any other questions or comment? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution number 2013-0230, resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of box beams on various bridges in various municipalities. Total estimated project cost, $1,320,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvements, authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements of cooperation with said municipalities in connection with said projects, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the bridges and in the communities as printed on the agenda items B1 through 3.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Mr. Miller. Did you want to be heard on this, Mr. Jones?
This resolution is the first step in the process of asking this council for permission for this project. There are on these beams there are keys that are entry points for water that causes deterioration. That is the concern on this project. We believe by replacing the box beams that we can deal with this problem. The start date will be 2015. There is no fear of collapse. The structure is rated a 3 and a 4 for the surface and the undergirding abutment of this project. Again, 3 and 4 is on a rating scale of 0 to 9, where 0 is the worst. And I ask my colleagues to support this resolution for passage.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Just ask that I put my name on it, because this is the one I walk my dogs across, this one bridge, so. And thanks for letting me know it was not fear of collapse.
Happened to your dog. We're not worried about you, we're worried about your dog.
And be reminded that water is causing the problems, the damage to this bridge.
Okay. All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0231.
Resolution number 2013-0231, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires rehabilitation and resurfacing of various bridge decks in various municipalities. Total estimated project cost $1,430,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvements. Authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements of cooperation with said municipalities in connection with said projects, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the bridges and in the communities as printed on the agenda, items C 1 through 4.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion on this?
Madam President, again, this is a public inconvenience welfare request, the first step to this council in replacing the wearing surface of 4 structures. As was stated earlier, water is always a cause for concern for deterioration, and these bridge decks take the most damage. By removing the old overlays and replacing them with new overlays with roughly 2 extra inches of concrete, this will extend the life of this structure. And again, I ask my colleagues to support this for passage.
All right, any other comments, questions? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0232.
Resolution number 2013-0232, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Lee Road from Superior Avenue to Delwood Road in the city of Cleveland Heights. Total estimated project cost $6,825,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion on this?
Madam President, again, this is a resurfacing project, the public inconvenience welfare. Many of our road projects really have an economic development component to it. This one more so than many others, and this is in Cleveland Heights in our Councilman Rogers' district, and he's worked closely with this, and he may have some additional insight.
Thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge that there's been a lot of work behind this project. The city has been working, the Special Improvement District in this area, the Cedar Lee SID, has really developed a comprehensive project to transform this area, which is essentially downtown Cleveland Heights. They were fortunate to receive a grant from NOACA. The city is also contributing a significant amount of money to this project. And without this county money, this project would really be delayed. So I'm happy to endorse this project, and I ask for your support as well.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0233.
Resolution number 2013-0233, a resolution making an award on requisition number 27202 to OM Partners doing business as Colliers Ostendorf Morris in the amount not to exceed $1,120,000 for property management services located at 11001 Cedar Avenue, Cleveland, for the period November 1, 2013 through October 31, 2018, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
By Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell.
And Madam President, the data center, the county's data center is housed in the medical examiner's office. And as a result, the custodial contract here at the coroner's office needs to be addressed by professional property management. So I do ask for your support, this council's support and passage of this piece of legislation.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. And thank you, Mr. Jones. You've had a lot of issues before your committee. All right.
Job.
We all thought this was a part-time job.
Resolution number 2013-0234, a resolution making an award on requisition number 28353 to Turner Ozanne VAA, a joint venture for design builder services for the Convention Center Hotel project, authorizing the county executive to negotiate, enter into, and execute an initial contract with Turner Ozanne VAA, a joint venture, in the amount not to exceed $10 million for the period November 13, 2013 through September 1st, 2016, and to execute all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
By Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. This was an item that was heard in committee of the whole. If there are any questions or comments, Mr. Applebaum is still with us. I recommend passage of this. Jones.
I'll make comments based on the fact that we had so many members of the public to come in and express concern. And I think we have good news to share on this project in response to the comments we heard earlier. Many may not know, and this is a good time to share, that the county does not have the capacity to target minorities. Legally, we cannot do it. We cannot legislate until we have completed our disparity study, which is in the works. But that doesn't stop a company from doing something voluntarily. And when the bids went out, those companies offered their own economic inclusion models, what they would do willingly, voluntarily, to serve the entire county who pays tax dollars in this community. And what we have gotten, and I will share the goals with you, and so you're getting the news before it even hits the newspaper. But there are goals. We will have a 25% small business enterprise target. We will have a 15% minority business enterprise goal, again, voluntarily. And I believe a good attitude is better than legislation. And that's what we're getting here. There will be an 7% FBE, female business enterprise goal, voluntary target by a goal offered by Turner Ozanne in a VAA contract. On the area of workforce, there will be a 40% county residency target. There will be a 20% city resident requirement, City of Cleveland. And as was expressed earlier in the public comment section, there will also be a 4% low income target. So these are good goals that are given to us, and again as a target to serve this community, to allow everyone from across this community to have a say and an opportunity to build a hotel that will be I think a shining example in this community. So these are the goals. They will be accompanied with aggressive outreach to the community. There will be monitoring for the project. So these are some good goals and a good message that we can send out and be at the forefront. One final comment, there was, in previous meetings, there was a statement that 33% of the minority population, African American community, should work on 33% of this project. And just so that we get out in front of all of this, I want to say what is more realistic is the fact that 33% of the population is not 33% of the construction world. So there's a difference. To give you an example, the elevators that will be built in this project, there are only 3 major companies roughly in the whole country. So there is not the capacity in this community to make a 33% goal. But we do have a 3% workforce goal. And on the other end, there's going to be 99% in the area of pouring concrete in the minority world. So I'm not going to bring the 99 down to 33, and you can't necessarily bump the 3% up to 33. But there was an effort by this company, by Turner Construction Company, to use the capacity of the minority community that existed. So I think that is fair, that is admirable, and that allows all of the taxpayers of this county to play a role in the construction of this new hotel. So with that.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Madam President.
Mr. Schrein and then Mr. Miller.
I would echo my colleagues' comments about the value of the voluntary proposals that we have brought forth, of which the corporation signed on. This is an exciting time because not only are we having economic inclusion of all of our citizens, but we're also putting that third leg of the crown jewel in our economic development component here with the convention center, the Global Center for Health Innovation, and then the Convention Center Hotel. So this, as we were asking questions 3 years ago about the need for a convention center hotel, this is finally that last leg of the pie that it actually completes the whole package out there. So we're very excited. If the folks from Turner and Ozanne, who have set such a fine example in the way they approached the previous project by coming in on time, and I know Mr. Applebaum's going to smile because the next comment is going to be under budget, if they can deliver that same kind of proposal and projects that they've done with their expertise. So we have Turner on the national basis, Ozanne, who is a local African-American contractor who brings some skills and expertise. The Ozanne and Dominic has got such a fabulous reputation here in town of being part of that. I think it's a terrific combination of the national, the local, and a project that I think we'll all be proud of as we go forward. Thank you.
Mr. Miller?
Madam President and my colleagues, we've come a long way on risk and cost control in these large construction projects, and I'm a lot more confident than I would have been even 10 years ago that this project is going to come in on time and on budget. And we took advantage of the home rule availability that we have in our charter and passed legislation that created a lot of flexibility in construction methods under Councilman Schron's leadership, and I think we're now benefiting from that in taking advantage of these newer methods that enable us to get a much better control of the costs and risks, and also a shorter timeline and therefore a better price on these construction contracts. Thank you.
Madam President.
Ms.
Just a comment on these pieces of legislation regarding the hotel. There was a question earlier about when council can say no, and this council person's in. I think this is now or never. We've got to, do what we can to make this the convention center succeed. Public-private partnerships are a way to go with this, and I'm actually very excited to see this come to fruition, finally come together for an exciting future for Cuyahoga County. So I'm supportive of this whole venture and will be throughout the process.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Simon. Anything else? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, item 0235.
Resolution number 2013-0235, a resolution making an award on requisition number 28697 to Ohio CAT in the amount not to exceed $1,250,000 for construction equipment, parts, supplies, and services for the period October 1, 2013 through September 30, 2018, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Mr. Jones.
Madam President, we looked at a similar contract a few weeks ago for a sewer contract. In fact, it was just 2 weeks ago. But what has happened here, our staff and the Public Works Department has really looked at different ways to purchase equipment. When it comes to this equipment, the staff really like when the equipment is consistent. When you get into a device, the gears and the levers are still in the same place from piece of equipment to equipment. So it adds for a certain level of efficiency and effectiveness. And but the staff has done a great job in putting together this purchase equipment package. And there will be things like backhoes, track hoes, front end loaders, and other type of equipment. So I ask my colleagues to support this piece of legislation.
Any questions for Mr. Jones or Ms. Tiwan? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution number 2013-0236, a resolution authorizing a contract with Project Management Consultants in the amount not to exceed $4,150,000 for owners' representative services in connection with the Convention Center Hotel project for the period November 1, 2013 through September 1, 2016, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. This item also was heard in the Committee of the Whole. It's a major step in this hotel process. And Mr. Applebaum is here if there's any questions or comments on this.
Madam President.
Mr. Greenspan.
Great. Just to provide some clarity on as my colleagues will recall, I sent a letter explaining my position on the hotel and explaining that I believed in my vote for 0234 supported that position that site should be greenfield and rebid as a clean site with other incentives to incentivize a private developer to come in on the project. But that's to the extent on this agenda that I'm going to be supporting any items related to the hotel. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Greenspan is a no.
Resolution number 2013-0237, a resolution authorizing a final definitive contract with Cooper Carey Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $6,500,000 for Criteria Architectural Services for the Convention Center Hotel project for the period August 13, 2013 through September 1, 2016, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. This item also was heard in Committee of the Whole, and we saw the schematic designs earlier this evening. Any comments or questions on this item?
President?
Yes.
Yes, unlike my colleague, Mr. Greenspan, in regards to this, I do believe it's appropriate for us to control the venue, the space. We did control that through the Convention Center. We did control it through the Global Center for Health Innovation. One of us wish we would have controlled that for another building in Cuyahoga County, but this is the third leg, and I think that it's important for us to have all three of those pieces under a unified county as far as a project, and I think that we'll end up with a building that was designed and fits neatly within the other components that we have on the campus.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No for Mr. Greenspan.
Resolution number 2013-0238, a resolution authorizing an amendment to agreement number AG 1200-285 with Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County for fiscal agent services for the Families and Schools Together program in connection with the Ohio Children's Trust Fund fiscal year 2013 grant program for the period July 1, 2012 through September 30, 2014, for additional funds in the amount of $714,930, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Mr. Schrein. Do you want to be heard on this, Mr. Brady?
Just that this resolution authorizes funding for the second year of a project designed to reduce the probability of child abuse and neglect through Family and Children's Services First Council programs. The project's funded through a combination of county levy dollars, that would be 22%, and state and federal funds. And I would ask my colleagues for their support.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution number 2013-0239, a resolution authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for placement services for the period October 1, 2011 through December 31, 2013, to change the terms effective July 1, 2013, and for a decrease in funds, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendments and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the contracts and the providers, and for decrease in the amounts as printed on the agenda, items K1 through 4.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Anybody want to be heard on this?
Madam Chairperson, this resolution adjusts funding for several community-based residential treatment programs for children in county custody. It decreases funds because of utilization. The funding is 71% Health and Human Service levies and 29% federal dollars. And again, I ask my colleagues for their support.
All right, any other questions? At least they're decreasing the amount, the money to school in Pennsylvania. I continue to have a problem with. All right, any questions or comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Last but not least, 0240.
Resolution number 2013-0240, a resolution authorizing retention of the law firm of Thompson Hine as legal counsel in connection with the Convention Center Hotel project in the amount not to exceed $880,000 for the period November 1, 2013 through September 1, 2016, authorizing the Director of Law to execute the engagement letter and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Schrein and seconded by Ms. Conwell. This matter also was heard in Committee of the Whole. Are there any questions or comment? Mr. Applebaum is here in case we need to ask him questions.
You know, I'll just take this moment to make a commercial. Again, if you want to be a part of the project, you have to be certified with the county. So contractors, I really encourage you to reach out to our SBE compliance officer, Nancy Mercado, here in OPD, and get certified. If you're certified, then you can participate in this work. Thank you.
Thank Mr. Jones. He has really been diligent on this area, and he has really carried the ball for all of us and has gone above and beyond the call of duty in following up in this area. So I thank you very much. All right, any other questions or comments on this item? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 14, consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Let the record reflect on that last one that Mr. Greenspan is dissenting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Greenspan.
Resolution number 2013-0223, a resolution rescinding resolution number 2013-0093 and authorizing the issuance and sale of County of Cuyahoga, Ohio taxable economic development revenue bonds, Series 2013, Flats East Bank Phase 2 project, in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $17 million for the purpose of assisting in the financing of a project within the meaning of Chapter 165, Ohio Revised Code, paying capitalized interest, funding a debt service reserve fund, and paying costs of issuance, providing for a guarantee for the payment of such bonds, authorizing the execution of various documents required in connection with said bond issuance, and authorizing and approving related matters, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion on this item?
This has already come before us. There's just a minor change with rescinding it and replacing it with the current version you have in front of you.
All right, any other questions or comments on this item?
My name, please.
Conwell's name. All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Before we go on to miscellaneous reports, let's note the next meetings. We're here all day on the 14th at 9 o'clock for the committee hall at 1 o'clock. Miller, are you bringing lunch, or should we bring it, brag it?
I have already put in the order. I am providing lunch on the 14th.
Okay, we'll all chip in. Listen, beggars can't be choosers. You know? Okay, but we'll chip in.
No, after the meeting.
Okay. And then we have Committee of the Whole on the Tuesday, the 19th, and then Committee of the Whole for budget hearings on the 26th, which is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and then a meeting on the 26th, which is also the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So do we have any miscellaneous committee reports? I have them here. We can read them in. I can read them in the record, or do you want to go start, Mr. Miller?
Madam President, we're going to have Finance and Budget Committee on Monday, November the 18th at a special time at 9 o'clock so that we don't conflict with the topping off ceremony for the administration building. Except that if the council president decides that we need that time for the time-sensitive committee of the whole items, then we're going to take the finance and budget meeting items and fold them into the committee of the whole meeting on the 19th. So
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right, yeah, we may have to adjust that. Okay. Anybody else?
Madam President, the Public Works Committee meeting will meet 1 week from tomorrow. That's Wednesday, November 20th. And just because of the sheer volume of legislation we have today, or given today, we will meet 1 hour early, at 10 o'clock, Wednesday, November 20th.
Anyone else? Mr. Brady, I guess you have a Health and Human Service on this.
Just a reminder, this seems like quite a while ago we had this discussion now, but we're going to be discussing the food stamp issue and having several people in from the community who more thoroughly have the discussion we were having a few hours ago now.
Mr. Gallagher?
No, ma'am.
You do?
19th.
Yeah, he has a meeting at 19th
10
at
a.m.
11 o'clock. I have it at 11 o'clock.
10.
Okay, it's 11 on here. All right, and then Mr. Rogers? Is it? It's 10? Okay. It's wrong on here then.
Education and Environment will follow Health and Human Services on Wednesday, the 20th at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And, yeah, we're here all week. And then Committee of the Whole, the items referred are the means that I mentioned a few minutes ago, and they're printed on the last sheet. All right, any miscellaneous business? Go ahead, Mr. Gallagher, and then Ms.
Top Dog's here again, so we are getting essays in from all the kids, and the last week in November, I'll hopefully get some council people to help us judge the contests. So, and our ceremony is December 5th at the kennel.
I'd like to wish Ms. Burt and Mr. Boyle good luck Saturday night as the Tigers from Cleveland Heights take on the mighty St. Edward Eagles, and we'll take it easy on you.
Okay.
I'd just like to thank all the people from my district that came out today. I see a lot of people in the audience that I see at many meetings, so I'm happy that you all came. We have a very activist community in my district, so I'm glad you're all here today.
Okay, anything else? I would like to congratulate Attorney Edward S. Wade, who was elected to Cleveland Municipal Court last Tuesday. And since the county will be paying part of his salary as a municipal court judge, he's run a couple of times and he's finally won. And we look forward to working with him. He's a Vietnam veteran who's been very dedicated to the community and a very fine lawyer. And we look forward to seeing him on the municipal court bench. Any other public comment unrelated to the agenda? I
Yes,
know
Madam
Charlie
Chair.
Bibb got something to say, so.
Mr. Porter, are you?
Yeah, are you ready, Mr. Porter? Yes, I am. All right, come on.
My name is Alfred E. Porter Jr., proud Vice President of course, Black on Black Crime Incorporated, Cuyahoga County Convention Center Hotel Project, Business and Jobs Opportunity Coalition. Full participation of the African American community in Cuyahoga County's development of the $260 million Convention Center Hotel is imperative as the Cuyahoga County Council approves resolutions to begin the process. The council is expected to take action during its next public meeting at 5 p.m. Tuesday, November 12th in the Justice Center. The Ohio 8th House District Black Caucus, in a business and jobs opportunity coalition with other community organizations, demands firm commitments to participation of African Americans in the demolition of the building currently on the site, the construction of the new building, and the operation of the hotel, whether leased to the Hilton Corporation or any other organization. Fair inclusion will include participation in management, administration, food service, and all other staffing categories, in addition to African Americans as contractors and suppliers. During the County Council's meeting October 22nd, these demands were stated by representatives of the Carl Stokes Brigade and Lee Adams Ministry of the AIR, WERE 1490 AM, as well as the Ohio 8th House District Black Caucus. The County Council has been advised by its staff that the legal underpinning to require such participation has not yet been established, but the Turner Construction Company and its joint venture affiliates have agreed to voluntarily meet standards for inclusion. The Business and Jobs Opportunity Coalition wants that agreement to definitely be put in writing as a visible pledge of fairness. African Americans constitute 1/3 of the county population. Any participating level less than that would be considered discriminatory against the African American community. Community organizations that want to work with the Business and Jobs Opportunity Coalition are invited to meet from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. each Friday at the Chateau Mansion. That's 13124 Euclid Avenue, East Cleveland. And of course, the Business and Jobs Opportunity Coalition, Charles E. Bibb, Senior Coordinator, 216-659-4619. And definitely, Black on Black Crime. We do support this resolution, and we hope that you all will definitely use this as a model, a definite model that will definitely offer a very positive sign to, of course, our county and be a definite model to be used nationwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Anyone else signed in?
Mr. Charles E. Bibb, Sr.
I knew you had something to say, Charlie, so come on.
Thank you, Madam President. Glad to be here tonight. And Chairman Jones, fine report you did. But I'm not here representing minorities. Am I clear?
Yeah, and
I'm
that's
not
the
here.
chairman right there.
Not speaking to the chairman. Madam Chairman, to Chairman,
Well,
Committee
just give your
Chairman
statement,
Jones.
Mr. Bibb.
Yeah. I'm here representing African Americans, and that's the figures that I want to see, and I want to see them in writing that they gave you from the first project. Then I want to see it in writing what you gave for this project. Then, is Mr. Applebaum still here?
I think he just left. He's been here most of the day. No, he just left.
Did he have an outreach program where he came into the communities to speak?
Mr. Bibb, I will address that, but this is your presentation. This is not
Right,
necessarily
right.
a dialogue.
Reason I asked that, I would like a outreach program to come to the city of East Cleveland. We have a very fine library, which I happen to be the vice chairman, and we seat about 254 people, and my state rep, Armin Budish, and State Rep Sandra Williams and Nina Turner came and gave us an excellent review of the budget that we're operating under now. So I'd like this program to be explained to our people in East Cleveland, since we'll be riding the Rapid down to the hotel. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bibb. We can arrange that. All right, anyone else signed in for public comment?
Yes, the next person is Ms. Sylvia James.
Good afternoon. My name is Sylvia James. I represent Titus Teaching Individuals, teaching us to unite. I was sitting here listening, just wanted to say what we do. We go around and we re-educate and empower the community. On a project of this magnitude, it is really important that we reach out to the community and let them know that this is available. You said, Mr. Purnell Jones, that you must be certified with the county and the SBE. However, a lot of small businesses and some minorities, as well as other women and small groups, are not aware of the policy. And as far as you being for the people, I feel as though we need to be able to have competitive bidding, along with showing some of the new businesses that are here how to actually go about in that bidding for the minorities, for the women-owned businesses. Because of the convention center and the magnitude with the hotel and the building of this, we have to go out and educate. There are a lot of skilled people out there who would like to be involved in this. However, if you leave it under caps without people going out to know about it, being within outreach, then no one is going to know to be able to step up to the plate, to be able to change the things that's going on in Cuyahoga County. As long as the demolition, the construction, and the administration of the hotel. We know that this is going on. However, we need to be able to hear about it from the people who represent us. And as far as I have been out there, have not heard it had to come to us. So I'm quite sure there are a lot of businesses, owners who would like to know the process to be able to be a part of it. If they don't know about the process from the people who represent them, how can they be a part of it? And also the accountability of it. You say that you have that accountability. They say that they have this percentage. However, they need to be held accountable for it. Show it, prove it. Don't just say it, prove it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else? Anyone else signed in?
The last speaker is Juan Wiley.
And Madam President, while he's coming, I know it's not proper protocol, but I'd like to at least share that we have done outreach. We have the directors of the departments in this very room have gone with me throughout the community to do outreach, and we need to continue to do more. I jokingly refer to it as a commercial because it needs to be shared. People need to know what the county is doing. People have been hesitant to be certified with the county because of history in years past. But it is a new county government, and we want people to take a chance on county government, get certified, and see what opportunities we have. You certainly can't promise anything to anyone, but we are definitely, as a council and as an executive, we have a new sheriff in town, and he is spoken often about economic inclusion. So we can talk afterwards, and we can connect you to those so that you will know who the point of contact is for the questions you just asked.
All right, and last gentleman.
Hello, and thank you for this opportunity to speak to the council.
My name is Juan Wiley. I'm here in representation of Superb Builders LLC. We are a licensed, bonded, and insured contracting company in this city. We are registered as a minority business enterprise, a locally based business and a small business in the city here. We have not received any information in regards to the bidding process to solicit a bid or even be made aware that this process was underway. I ask that we take this opportunity to use this project as a model for the standard that Governor Kasich has set as trying to include 15% of the workforce from minority businesses. I understand Mr. Jones stated that although 33% of the county represents the African American population, that entire population is not invested occupational-wise in construction. However, companies such as Superb Builders, which has been in the city for 10 years and has done city projects for Cleveland and neighboring cities and suburbs, I feel that inclusion in larger projects would be of great for the economic development and stability of our city. We can use this project to build relationships with interested and concerned citizens of our community. This is a smaller project in comparison to some of the other projects that have went on where we had 3% inclusion, and of late it was 7%, I believe 7 or 8%. And I just would like to urge the council to make the information available to the people that are already registered with you as a minority business, and to please allow for those out here that depend on these type of projects to sustain their living, livelihood for themselves and others to have a chance to participate. As he said, there's only 3 companies that can handle the contract for elevators and whatnot. But I think that we can strive to meet the goal that the governor set forth of 15% total inclusion, not just in the construction, demolition, but also in the services allotted by the end goal in the end hotel company. Again, I thank you for this opportunity to speak with you. I strongly encourage you to just strengthen the lines of communication with the minority businesses, because as I've said, I'm registered with the city as a minority business, small business, locally owned business, carry enough insurance to cover my participation in such a project, and I have not been notified of the bidding process at all. Thank you.
Well, since nothing's been bid, I don't know how you can notify because nothing's been bid out yet. We are just starting this project,
Well,
so everyone will be notified. I'm not going to get into a big dialogue, but nothing has been done. So we will be going through the process. Everything is available on the website. Everything is online. Nobody can walk in with a contract. Everything has to be done online through a procedure, and we will make sure that everything is notified.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
I was just saying that in the past as well, I wasn't notified, and I'm just urging that the council
Well, we don't send
place a
out
little more
letters to
attention.
everybody in the county. We put everything on the website. You just have to continue to check the website.
Thank you for hearing me today. I hope you
Okay.
consider what I've shared.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else? Anyone else?
No, Madam Chair, no one else.
Okay, is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, we stand adjourned.
Good to meet you. I bid on, my business was bid on U.S. government contracts.